it usually works with training, right? So for every single exercise, there's like an upper limit and a lower limit of the reps of that exercise, depending if it's an isolation type of movement, like a pec deck, a chest fly, or if it's like an incline press or Smith machine press, that's more so of like a compound movement. Usually how it works for every muscle group, like a chest, back, legs, for the 3 big muscle groups, you want 1 compound lift per session. You don't want to do any more than 1, because that's when you're going to accrue a lot more fatigue rather than extra muscle stimulus. You can kind of like see it on the screen there how it usually works with your first exercise for that muscle group. So let's say you're doing a push, right? Push is chest, tries and shoulders, right? Whatever order you might want to do it. If you're lacking with your shoulders, I'll put shoulders in your push day first, because you always want to lead with a lacking muscle group, because you're going to be stronger and less fatigued when you start, right? So push, you got those 3 muscle groups. For your first chest movement, let's say you're doing chest in the beginning, you haven't even warmed up. That's when you're going to be doing 2 feel sets. We kind of like get a feel for the movement, getting blood pumping, and whenever you're starting with a movement like chest, you always want to start with like a pec deck or a fly, right? Because that's where you kind of like pre-fatigue your chest fibers and really get that pump going in. You don't want to go heavy, you go light, usually in the 12 to 15 rep range for that one. And then you're going to want to go straight to your top set and back set. That's your mechanical tension. And for an example, use 6 to 8 reps, right? Your top set. You might do Smith machine. You might put 2 plates aside, which is 20, 40, 60, 80, right? And you can only get 6. And then you usually drop about 10 to 15%. So you go from 80 to 72 or 70 kilos, right? Let's say you drop 5 from each side. And then you go 6 reps for the 80. You might do like 9 reps for the back set, for the 70. Boom, you keep the weight the same until you hit the same weight, the 80 kilos for the 8 reps, the upper limit, and that 70 kilos for the 10 reps. And you keep the weight the same until you hit the upper limit for both the top set and the back set, and that's when you increment the next session. The next session you might just increase your top set to 85. Same thing. Whenever you're getting heavier and heavier and heavier, the less room or flexibility you have to adding more weight, because it's harder to push heavier weight. Whenever you're starting out with your new training program, you might have a little bit more room. That's when you might add an extra, 10 kilos on your top set and 10 kilos on your back set at once. But you kind of understand how that goes personally with your training program. That's how top set and back sets work. You boys got any questions on that so far? And the whole point of top sets and back sets is just go fucking smash it. You still want to make sure form is good, but that's when you kind of like explode up, control, explode, really just get that power, because that's pretty much like the set that you go all out close to failure and you smash it. And the reason for you boys why we do this Smith machine incline press for the top set and the back set, because you don't need a spotter. If you fail at the top, you can bring it down and anchor it safely, so it's perfect for that. Alright boys, quickly before we carry on with the video, this was taken exactly out of a one-on-one elite group coaching call that I offer inside of my coaching. And if you want to get into depth with anything training, nutrition, mindset, you can either message me on Instagram, see if we're a good fit, or book in the call with me and see exactly how the systems are built and everything I've learned in my own bodybuilding and personal development journey can be tailored specifically to you and your lifestyle. So hit me up, let's have a talk, and let's see if we're a good fit. Run, man. Can you add more sets, like 2? What do you mean by that? Like 2 top sets and 2 back sets for the same exercise? What do you mean, Callum?
Yeah, so pretty much like do pretty much exactly that, but twice. Like if you want to get more sort of muscle stimulus going.
The issue with that is if you want to get more muscle stimulus, doing more reps at that intensity is not really going to help, because then you've got double progression as well. So double progression is what I'm going to get to. Usually think about it. You might be like, yeah, wouldn't an extra set of top set help? It could, but on the downside, you've got more fatigue, which is then going to fry out your central nervous system, which then goes and means that if you're doing 2 push sessions a week or 2 upper sessions a week, you might not recover for that second session for that week. Let's say we're doing push on Monday and upper body, which is chest and back, on the Thursday, you might not recover in time. So I always recommend 1 top set, 1 back set for that lift. And that's for Smith machine press, hack squats, anything like a T-bar row. T-bar row is pretty much like a bent over row, but it's more stabilized. You've got the chest support, which is exactly what you want. So anything that you go really heavy, you kind of want to have that stability. And then you've got your double progression. So anything rather than your top set and back set, 95% of all other movements fall into this category. Alright, if you found the video helpful and want the full system built for you, just DM me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next video.